All right then, now it's time to propagate this article. And to do that, we have to copy it. So it's also provided with the image, or with the article when it's submitted, indicating who says to sign off on it. Because you see, the propagation of the article does not take place till it's signed off. I'm going to assume it's signed off. It's just in order to allow this. And because if we make a mistake, we've got to fix it in all of them. We may just let this go for the moment, but either that or else we can change that later. So I hit save, which is the same thing as apply, but it closes the file. And now because our articles are listed, posted from most recent going backwards, we will see that this there's our article. So I click on it, and now I can hit copy. And notice it's not on front page right now. I'm going to first of all click that, which means that it now, if we go to National Home, it's now right up here. It's in the breaking news. And that's done by clicking this front page button. Now I'm going to copy it to the other locations we'd like to see it on this. As I said, this should be indicated. So the places that we like to put it are in Lower Mainland, current features. And that means if we go to Lower Mainland, this depends if this uploads first or second. Yeah, I can just made it. So there it is, showing up on the rotator. Excellent. So so now we've posted it to two places. The third one, and this where it gets a little and you notice the second one we did doesn't have the front page clicked, so it doesn't show up twice. So it automatically defaults to that. Now we're going to take this and copy it one more time. This is for the newsletter. Now this is where I'm going to be talking about the newsletters that we're going to have. So if we go down to all of our newsletters, I'm just going to show them to you. So we have a business, we have Canadian Pairs, we have an e-blast, we have an equipment, we have a majors, we have a travel, we have a Western Canada, we have a Northern Alberta, we have a Southern Alberta, majors. So we do not, I'm sorry, we understand we don't have individual regions for newsletters. And the thing about it is that until we do, we will just post this article off for everybody to see. And then every once a month, we'll take all the Lower Mainland articles we've got. So it'll appear in the regular newsletter, goes out twice a week, but it'll also appear and be saved and go in a Lower Mainland newsletter, which I want to do. I'll talk to you personally about how I want to start seeing us promote this. And this is where the marketing comes in. But so anyway, I'll put this in the next newsletter to go out. Now, if we look at the newsletter right now, which we have right here, this is the newsletter that went out this morning. And basically, these are all supposed to be turned off once the newsletter is sent. But we don't usually do that right away. So I'm not going to post this, or normally I would post this article right now to newsletter Western Canada. Western Canada, and I'll think about where we put this in terms of column. We would indicate where we chip shots, current news, regular columns, top stories, and you know, this is not really a top story per se, but it is in some ways. I'm just right now. This is where we're into sort of new ground here in a way, because this is the first time we're going beyond having just people internally in the office doing the posting and deciding what goes out, and that's how your articles got missed, and that's what I'm going to address right now, because this is where the move from having Brian and or Katrina be responsible for collecting this information and making sure it gets dealt with. Clearly, I'd rather have Katrina doing this than Brian, and so that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be talking to Katrina about it to make sure that we just start feeding her. And I mean, she's more than competent enough to manage this and just make sure that it ends up in the right places. So I'm going to not finish this off. If I did, it would show up here in the newsletter and the story. It's not real rocket science. But the other things that we can, so I'll just hit cancel on this. The things that we can do is to talk about the social media marketing of this. And obviously, the one thing we don't have, I'm back, I'm not on my first page. Let's just go to bit.ly.com. Let's go, I'm on the second page here. Let's go back to the first page. So you see here, we've got your article, and I want to talk about that for a second, because you can send this out, obviously, on Twitter, et cetera, to get it out to people. Well, let's talk about how we want to do that, right? So you go back, and generally, you should link this to its primary location, okay? So in the case this is this version of it, and the reason is, click to read more. Now we have the article ID. And what I'm saying here is that because if you fix this article, the place you're going to fix it, change it, upgrade it, wherever any errors that I've made, you're going to do it here first. And in that case, then you just delete the other copies and re-establish them. But in order to keep this for your bit.ly, your URL of contraction, you always use this version for making your so and now you've got this. You just copy it, close it, and now it's here. And so this allows us to send it out. First of all, I'm going to just do a find here. I don't need this anymore, do I? No. So we'll just hit this as send again. Hi. So I've changed that to replace it with your bit.ly. Send again is something that if you don't use, you should. And then I'm just going to go over here and grab this. By the way, this title should have had caps on each intro word. But I don't really care that much. It's not the end of the world. Right. And notice that overrode. That's where you go to text edit. And that corrects that. If you don't have this, by the way, this signature, this is something you want to use, and I want to personalize yours to talk about you're the new, partner manager. So I'm just going to click on this for a sec here, and you go Command K in emails, and you see that they actually have not used our contraction here. So we're not able to track here using this. It's just out of interest. I'm not going to change this right now, but you can obviously put Command K allows you to put hyperlinks into your email bodies. So you see here, that's fine. Now we just delete their addresses, and I'm going to include you to the CCs, and then we'll just to find out these people. This is where you really are supposed to be going to the database. I think I'm going to do that here. Even though you don't have the database yet, I'm going to just show it to you so you're aware of it. So I'm going to stop this recording now, and then go get the database open, and we'll walk you through that too.